Hello, everyone. My name is Susan E. Evans. I am the Artistic Director at Live Arts Theater in Charlottesville, and I would love to tell you about our upcoming 34th season. This is our season 24-25, which I am calling Voyages. Why is this called Voyages? I think Voyages resonates with a little bit into the past. It's a kind of an older term, but it also has an amazing, wonderful sense of adventure. And that's what I want to bring to this season is all of these shows have a sense of adventure and a sense of traveling to discover something. And sometimes the travel is literal and sometimes the travel is figurative and sometimes it's into the future and sometimes it's into the past. But that's, I think, something I wanted to imbue the whole season with. The first two shows, which are going to run in rotation in repertory in the Founders Theater in September and October, are An Iliad by Lisa Peterson and Dennis O'Hare, and What the Constitution Means to Me by Heidi Schreck. These plays, I think, will pair well with each other because they both deal with history and learning from the history and looking backwards to understand where we are, where we might be going to. An Iliad is a modern retelling. It's a poet comes onto basically an empty stage and tells the story of Homer's classic, but he tells it with a modern touch. And in What the Constitution Means to Me by Heidi Schreck, Heidi looks back to her teenage years when she traveled around the country talking about the Constitution in halls to raise money for her college tuition. And through the story, we learn about her and her life. Then in the second half of the play, she debates two teenagers who alternate about whether we should keep the Constitution, amend it, use the one we have that was written hundreds of years ago, or whether we should throw it out the window and start afresh. And what that all means. There's a lot of improvisation in the show and a lot of audience involvement. And I think it is a very apt show for this particular election year we have coming up. Moving through the season, very excited to have back with us John Gibson. Most of you know the Gibson Theater, which is our larger stage here at Live Arts. John Gibson was the artistic director here for, I believe, 18 years. And he has been away for a while, but he is coming back to direct a classic, The Wizard of Oz. But John has his own particular vision for this story, which is a little bit different. And I think will fascinate people in how he has personalized the story. So I'm excited about that. It is being directed by John and co-directed by Ray Netzel, who many of you know is our Fringe director. That is coming up for a holiday show in November and December. Then in 2025, which is a scary thing to say, 2025, we have coming up in the spring a Virginia premiere, Mary's Seacole, that is plural, Mary's Seacole by Jackie Sibley's Drury. This is a new play. It's only a few years old, and it is an interesting time-traveling story that is based on the life of a real person, Mary Seacole, who was a nurse during the Crimean War. She grew up in Jamaica and then traveled all over the world to England and to the Crimea. This play talks not only about her life, but about all kinds of caregivers, women, Black women in particular, caregivers through history. It travels, again, like I say, from Jamaica in the 19th century to a contemporary nursing home. And it talks about how women act as caregivers through time. Really beautiful, beautifully written script. Then we move into play I'm very happy I'm going to be directing, which has been on my bucket list for a long time, The Trip to Bountiful. This is a classic play by Horton Foote. Horton Foote is, I think, one of the sort of, in a way, least recognized but most important American playwrights. He wrote about a small area in Texas. All his plays are centered around this small area around the Gulf Coast in Texas, but he talks about the big stories using the little stories, I think. In this particular play, The Trip to Bountiful was originally a television script and got adapted for the stage in the mid-1950s. And it's about a woman who goes home to find her old homestead and the traveling that she does to get to her home and what she finds when she gets there, which isn't what she expects. And then finally, of course, round 3 we have of our Waterworks Festival. Waterworks is a new works festival, a new plays for the theater. We solicit scripts from all over the country. I think we even have some from other countries, and also center the local playwrights around here. Locally Sourced, which is a playwrights lab, production every year. Locally Sourced has a pivotal place inside the festival, as well as other playwriting groups. And it is an opportunity for so many volunteers. A huge number of volunteers come in to work the shows and appear in these readings. And it's a wonderful celebration of all the new writing that's going on for the theater. Yes, we really hope you check out this new season and buy a subscription to Live Arts 2024-2025 season. You can get your subscription now. There's all kinds of great packages that we have for everybody's different needs and what their schedules are. And everything is available. Just check it out on the website, livearts.org. We invite you to take these voyages with us in 2024-2025.